All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Athlete and Artist Show. I am the artist Kyle Forch, alongside my co-host, professional hockey player Zach Boychuk. Just us in the pod today. Chucky, back from a little Florida golf trip there. How have things been the last couple weeks?
Yeah, it was a good little vacation, kind of time to get away from my trainer a little bit. I came back from Florida and it was right back into the gym, and he's putting me through beep tests and assault bikes, and this past week has been pretty rough. So it was good to get a little time away.
Beep test as soon as you get back from a golf trip. That's that's a tough one.
Yeah, 9 days off or 8 days off, and then right into the beep test. So, and then we also had a workout, and we're like doing these long holds right now and pauses, and it's just kind of like hell, but you got to get through it the first little bit until we start skating a lot and kind of ease the workouts off a little bit.
What would you run on the beep test? I remember those from high school. Like,
Not as good when I was 15 years old, but um I I held my own with some of the other guys, so
yeah. How many other guys were there? Is everyone kind of just coming back from vacation, or guys kind of trickling back in from the season ending? Or
yeah, we have like 6 or 7 guys kind of in our group right now, and then we got a bunch of junior guys that are after us, and um, there'll still be some more guys coming back. Eberly will be back here now that he's out of the playoffs, and then a couple other guys filtering in here and there. So yeah, it'll be a good summer of golf and training, and yeah, obviously me and you got to go out and play the other night. How's your last couple weeks been?
not bad. I don't think I've ever played worse than that time out.
And
That
a
was
good
a
little sunburn to go with it too.
yeah. I got roasted. I got roasted and just that played terribly. That was like my first time out this season. And just I don't can't remember the last time I've played that badly, but it was fun.
I
Um,
mean, it was pretty windy out there, so that's an excuse we had on our side.
Yeah, it was pretty windy. The day that we went was it was warm though, and it was nice that we went that day because the last 2 days have just been filled with like smoke in the air. It's been crazy. Like don't even want to go outside or I can't breathe.
Yeah, it's brutal. I saw your story. You literally said it looks like an apocalypse out there. Like everything's like all orange and
It was crazy.
gray. Like it's just you can't even go outside. I've kept my windows closed, like just trying to stay inside. We were gonna golf yesterday. The golf course was completely shut down. Like so, it's tough. But guys are already golfing today, so they're battling the smoke.
That's tough, man. Being outside for like 4 or 5 hours in that, I can't imagine. Like that you'd be just coughing by the end of it.
Yeah, you'd be better off like wearing a mask or just staying
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, I
But
woke up the other day and I legitimately thought my building was on fire for once. Like our fire alarm goes off like a couple times a week just from morons pulling it or like vaping, and I legit thought it was on fire this time. I was like, "What is going on?" Go look outside, and just like you said, like just orange smoke, like it literally looked like an apocalypse. It was crazy.
yeah, I heard a lot of the fires are like man-made too, and some of it's actually like people like protesting the government. So it's like
Really?
kind of brutal up here in Canada right now.
That's insane. That's not what we want to see. We don't want to see intentionally man-made forest fires.
Definitely not.
Usually we just get the smoke from BC. Like it's not usually this bad around here. I don't think anyway.
Yeah, the winds really pushed it this way. It seems like I don't know what's going on or like where exactly the fires are, but hopefully the wind starts changing directions and these maybe get some rain, put out some of these fires.
Yeah, a little bit of rain would be nice. Uh, Playoffs. You mentioned it. Our boy Ebbs is out of the playoffs. Seattle just got eliminated, Game 7 against Dallas. But your Hurricanes, they put a beating on New Jersey. They're off to the conference finals themselves. So that's got to be cool to see the team that drafted you being successful again, making it back to the conference finals. And what do you think about going into the Eastern and Western Conference Finals? And what do you think of this round?
Yeah, Carolina sure looked like a wagon this past round. I mean, they were just dominant on all sides of the ice, and I think them as a team, like the last 5 to 7 years, ever since kind of Roddy took over, they've always been a really strong team. In the top five or top 10 of the standings. They just haven't been able to really get it done in playoffs, and they've made it, I think, to the Eastern Conference Finals a few years ago, maybe lost to Boston or something like that. But now you can see that their team's really coming together. I think Burns was a huge pickup for them. Their goaltending is looking solid, and they're just getting contributions from everywhere up front. So I'm looking forward to see the Florida series though, because that's a team that's really kind of come out of nowhere as an 8 seed, and they've kind of the shocked the first couple rounds, and obviously beat Toronto in pretty easy fashion, and they're firing on all cylinders right now. So that side of it's pretty interesting. What do you think of the East?
Yeah, I mean, Carolina's always. I love Rod Brendamore, so like seeing them do well is cool. But I didn't think they were gonna thump New Jersey like they did. Like it seemed like even the one game that New Jersey won, it just every game was high scoring for one side, and it was like 4-1, 5-1. I think one game was even 6-1 or something, wasn't it? Like it was not the series that I had expected to see, especially with how New Jersey played against New York. Um, and then yeah, that Florida Toronto series, I thought the Leafs were gonna get swept. Like they wait 20 years to finally win a playoff series. And when Prusty came on the pod a couple weeks ago, you and him both kind of agreed like, hey, it's either win or everything gets changed. And I was not expecting them just to almost get swept that second round. Like you didn't really see Matthews or Marner take that extra step in the second round. It kind of seemed like guys were just content with winning the one round, and then Florida goes up 3-rep. I thought Toronto if might have put up an extra an extra game or something after they won that game 4, but it's going to be an interesting Eastern Conference final with Florida and Carolina. I've predicted pretty much everything wrong thus far, so who knows? I have no clue what's going to happen. Like I could say a 7-game series, it could be another slacking from either side, or I could say who knows? I'm not calling this series very well, or this season very well.
Yeah, this one might go 7 actually. I think Bobrovsky's playing so well right now, and obviously Florida's got a lot of firepower. They're pretty offensive, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of funny. Paul Maurice, he was my head coach that I had in Carolina, and my first couple games of the league, I was playing on a line with Rod Brindamore, and Maurice was the coach. So it's kind of now they're going head to head against each other. I think he coached Roddy for quite a long time, coached in a lot of playoff games for them. They didn't win together, but um, just kind of a cool little setup for that to go head to head against each other.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good storyline to make it a little bit more interesting in the playoffs. Who do you think's got the advantage in that series?
I'm kind of leaning towards Carolina. I just think they've been the more solid team all year. Their defense is a lot deeper. I think Florida's forwards might be a little bit better, a little bit more top end firepower, but it might come down to penalties, like who's staying disciplined, who's scoring on the power play. I think Carolina's power play has been pretty good, and obviously home ice advantage will probably come into play. Carolina's barn is kind of crazy to play in right now, which is awesome for them, and I- I'd give a slight edge to Carolina, but I could see it going 7.
Yeah, I could probably see this series going to 7 as well. I think it's going to be a battle though. Like it could be each game could be pretty high scoring. I think it might alternate in terms of maybe the first couple games are going to be all balls to the wall offensively. Florida it might just come out firing, but I think it's going to be a physical series. And I really don't know from my end who to give the advantage to. Like, it depends if on the Florida side, if Kachuk can keep his hot streak going. Even though he didn't score too much against Toronto, I don't think, but he put up some assists. He made some good plays. So I think it'll if he's on like he was in the first series, I think Florida's got a really good chance. And if not, I think Carolina's just been playing way too well.
Yeah, and if Jordan Martinook puts up 9 or 10 points again in a
Yeah,
series and he's playing like Connor McDavid, then that could be a quite a dark horse for them. It's just crazy all the different guys that have chipped in.
yeah. Speaking of Connor McDavid, what do you think about the West? I mean, Edmonton eliminated by Vegas. I said it was going to happen in 4, but it ended in 6.
Yeah, I
So
really didn't see that coming. I had Vegas losing even in the first round. Like I just was really worried about their goaltending. They've been through 4 different goalies now, and they've just been finding ways to win. They don't take penalties, so that made it hard for the Oilers to play against them. And it was just kind of the same thing. Like Draisaitl didn't have the series that he did the first round, and or the first couple of games, anyways, or the first couple of games, the last few games, and I don't know. They just ran out of saves. Oilers really couldn't get a save like by the end of it, and obviously Vegas is looking kind of like the favorite, I would say, coming out of the West.
yeah, it's insane. Their goaltending situation just blows my mind. Like the rest of the team's really stepping up to ensure that that's not an excuse of why they don't have a successful run. But yeah, they them not taking penalties against Edmonton, like you said, I think that was a big turning point in that series, because Edmonton in that first round, like you put them on the power play, and as much as I hate them, like they're gonna probably score. Especially with how Draisaitl was playing, like that guy can rip a shot from anywhere and it's going in the net. So them, I mean, I was blasting the Oilers on Twitter the entire playoffs, that saying that they're if they don't get power plays, they're not going to win. I was having people agree with me. Majority of Oilers fans were just trashing me. I think my analytics went up 500,000 in just a couple weeks of talking shit about the Oilers. But yeah, Vegas played them really, really well in terms of shutting that down, not taking penalties, and then shutting down, their top scorers. So there was, I thought it was going to end up going to 7, but that series was a battle. Like, it started to get real chippy there near the end. I mean, you saw the slash on Draisaitl.
Oh my
It's
God.
like insanity. Like, what do you think was going through Petro's head when you take an overhand hack at a guy's wrist at the end of the game? Game's by far over. I think it was 4-1 or 5-1, and that's a blatant like intent to injure there, or what's going through his head?
Yeah, there's some bad blood there for sure. I mean, you saw in the first couple games, I think Kane was kind of running after Petrangelo, like kind of at the end of a period and starting a bunch of shit, and then you got obviously Petrangelo coming in with the huge whack on Draisaitl there. So those teams definitely did not like each other. You had some big boys fighting after that too, and
Yep.
that's playoff hockey. Like you love to see that, and I think Petrangelo probably should have held his cool a little bit and maybe actually got suspended more than 1 game. But they somehow found a way to win without him, and then got the win in the end. And just like a lot of the games, same thing. Were just complete blowouts and not a lot of close games. So hopefully this Dallas and Vegas series is a lot closer.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting series because I thought that, well, I was hoping that Seattle was gonna beat Dallas, and then it was gonna kind of be a series of the two newest teams in the league, which would have been great. I mean, Seattle in their second year in the league, what a great run for these guys. Like, especially after having such a poor outing their first season and really stepping up, getting the missing pieces, putting their team together the way that they did, and how those guys performed, and not only performed in the regular season to make the playoffs, but I mean, you eliminate the defending Cup champs in the first round, which nobody saw coming. You come back in the second round, go 7 again, and game seven's a close 2-1 loss. So I mean, it was right there for the taking to get to the Western Conference Final, but a really good season and really good push from those guys, and I don't think they can be much prouder as an organization besides obviously winning the cup.
Yeah, it was a Cinderella story for them. I think nobody saw them getting by the first round, and then they somehow did, and then even in this last series, they really put up a fight. Everybody was showed that he's a gamer and full time playoff type of guy, and we knew that. But other guys were contributing, and they actually got pretty solid goaltending until the end, and they just couldn't match up to the top stars of Dallas. You know, their goaltender really just played well after a loss. I think his record is just insane after losing a game, and he just really shuts it down. And Rupe Hintz has been unbelievable the whole playoffs, and just guys that are just same thing. No like real superstars. I guess Robertson's pretty good, but he's been a little off in the playoffs. But just finding guys like Rupe Hintz, like he's only making $3-4 million and just torching up the playoffs. So those are the
Yeah.
type of guys that really show up in the playoff time, and just wasn't quite enough. I think Seattle gave a good effort, and good to see the buzz happening in only their second year in the league.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they move forward from here. And obviously, I mean, we had one of the owners, Mitch Garber, on the pod from before, so it was cool seeing, talking to him from before they really got going, and now, seeing where they came in just such a short time is awesome. And hopefully they'll have some more success next year, maybe make some off-season moves. But I mean, you can't really ask for a better season from a second year team. Unless you're Vegas,
Yeah,
who just goes all the way to the cup the first year. But
exactly. And their minor league team looks pretty good too. So I'm sure they got a lot of good prospects. Obviously, James Wright, he's going to be a good player down the road.
yeah,
But yeah, there'll probably be a lot of free agents wanting to go there now that they had such a good season this year.
yeah, we got to see their minor league team a week or so ago, or not barely a week ago now. I think just this week,
Yeah,
eh?
the
So
Wranglers
against
game,
Wranglers
Coachella
game,
Valley.
yeah. Saw a lot of the boys there that you knew too. Even your coach, or not your coach, your trainer, I should say.
Yeah, Crash was there, and then we had the Lowry brothers were there, McWilliam, yeah, a couple of the guys that I trained with too, Jack Rodewald and Kale Clegg. We had a bunch of guys kind of cruising around, and um, yeah, obviously the Wranglers got the huge win. My buddy Brett Sutter with the game winner, but they're looking to be in tight in their series right now. So I think they need a win tonight and then win their next game too to go on to the next round.
Yeah, that's two good minor league teams for these organizations. I mean, Calgary needs it more than anybody, but it's good to see that Calgary's got some guys in the pipeline that if they with whoever is taking over coaching and GM, that they'll be able to utilize these younger guys and hopefully give some of these guys an opportunity next year. Um, I think there's some kids down there that deserve the opportunity. I mean, obviously Phillips has been ripping it up in the AHL. How well he's going to do on the NHL level is a question just because of his size, I think. But other guys, like when Coronado comes, when Zari gets going, when these guys kind of mature and start to get opportunities at the higher level, it'll be interesting to see what they can do.
Yeah, I definitely think Wolf will get a good shot next year with winning
Yeah.
goalie of the year and MVP of the league. I'm not sure if that was announced yet or not, or if it was just goalie of the year. But the last couple of years, he's got goalie of the year in the AHL, and then um, even in the WHL, he was winning goalie of the year. So to win like three or four goalies of the year at such a young age, you'd think that Calgary kind of is forced to make a move with their other two goalies to open up a spot for him to get him in there.
Yeah, I think you gotta send Vladar down, send Vladar down, or get rid of him and bring Wolfie up. I think it's time that Wolfie gets his opportunity, even if it's just as a backup. But it's time that he gets his opportunity at the next level. He's been too good everywhere at every other level he's been at. And I think that we need to find out if he's going to be able to hold his own in the show, and if he does, that's a franchise goalie for the organization. I mean, Wolfie could be their Calgary's next Kippersoff at potentially, So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the next season. Hopefully, he does get the opportunity, but yeah, I mean, I think it's time to find out what Wolfie can do at the next level.
Yeah, for sure. So what's your picks for Dallas and Vegas?
I think it's good. I think it's Vegas in 7. I think it's Vegas in 7. What about you?
Yeah, honestly, I think that's a complete coin flip again. We'll definitely go 7.
Yeah.
Um, I might go on the goaltending side though and go against you. I'll take Dallas in 7.
Yeah. Okay. Dallas in 7. What about in the East?
In the East, I got Carolina.
You got Carolina in 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that'll be a good series.
Okay. I got Florida in 7. So we're opposites now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like all the South teams that are in the Final Four now. Like it's just
Insanity.
I don't know if that's good for the NHL or bad or what. I guess there's new markets getting eyes on it. I'm sure lots of people will still watch and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure they would have preferred having, Edmonton or Toronto or some of these huge teams in the Final Four.
Yeah. I mean, I told a buddy of mine yesterday, I think, that I would rather see Edmonton in than Seattle out, even though I've been given, and that's saying something with how much shit I've been giving the Oilers for the last 3 weeks. Um, but I think then Edmonton Seattle final would have been crazy. But to have one of those Canadian teams in there would have been great, just moving forward, even if they didn't win the cup. But just to keep the morale high in Canada, because I feel like, I mean, we get gypped a lot. we haven't had anyone in the final since, well, I guess Montreal a few years ago in the COVID year, but before that, I think the last team to make it was it the Oilers, or was it the Senators after the Oilers?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely been a while. I'm not sure. It could have been the Oilers.
It's like 05, 06, but then did the Senators make it to the Cup final, or just the Eastern Conference final
Yeah, I'm not
a
sure.
couple
I
years
have
later?
to I have to check that one. But yeah,
Um,
it is way better when a Canadian team's like has a legit chance and you see all the parties outside the rinks and
yeah.
everybody's watching the games at the bars and stuff. And but yeah, we haven't had a Canadian team win in almost 30 years, I think.
Yeah, it's insanity. The shit luck that Canada's gotten. It went, yeah, it's like the Oilers. I mean, the Oilers lost to your Canes. The Flames lost. I mean, the year before the lockout year there, obviously to Tampa. I mean, technically they won, but we don't need to get into that. Uh, but when's the next time you see a Canadian team making it to the Cup final? Do you think it's going to be Edmonton, or do you think it's going to be, is Toronto going to blow everything up? Is Edmonton gonna blow the farm up now that they didn't make it, or what do you think is going to happen with these two teams?
I think both teams are just going to have to retool a little bit and kind of move forward after getting a little bit of playoff success. I guess for Toronto, they basically just needed to get by that first round, and then you know everything was kind of not great for them after that. But um,
I
obviously, they're
100%
gonna
thought
have to
that
make
graphic I
changes
sent you was
there,
real.
whether it's the coach or the GM. Or I think it's hard to move out any of those players. You got guys making $11 million, and
Yeah,
um, there's a lot of pressure on them. I think a lot of people were actually a little bit too hard on those guys because people don't realize how hard it is to score in the playoffs, and especially if they put the whistles away, you're not getting the power plays, and you're putting more pressure on yourself than even the fans are. So, you know, there's moments where Marner was showing flashes and Nylander was really good, but um overall, you definitely need a little bit more from your top players.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely thought that graphic I sent you from Twitter earlier was real. Like I was like, holy shit, they're already blowing the team up.
Yeah, you had what? Spezza was going to be the head coach.
Spencer was gonna
Dubas
be
was going
the
to be the
head
president. Brendan Shanahan was out. Like all of it was just like,
coach.
is that real? Is that really real? It
I was
obviously
like,
got you. It was a fake press release.
yeah, like I didn't check who the actual account it was. I think it was like another hockey account that I saw that I thought retweeted it, because you know how Twitter has like the for you page and the following now. I guess I was in the for you instead of following, so I thought it was some like a hockey account like Chicklets or Curfew or someone that like retweeted it. I sent it to you without looking at the account that actually posted it. And yeah, I was like, holy shit. I texted my other buddy. I was like, yo, did you hear about Toronto? Like,
Got
but
duped.
yeah, it got duped for sure. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. Like it's a tough call. Like do you give Dubas another opportunity? Do you give Keefe another opportunity, or do you move a piece? Like do you move a Marner or a Nylander? I think you got to try to move
I don't
Nylander.
know. Dubas blocked me on Twitter, so I kind of hope he gets fired. But either way, I think they're definitely going to move something. Um, Tavares, he's got 1 or 2 years left. So they still have the core in place. I just don't know how you're going to be able to move any of those guys. And Nylander's still on a fairly cheap deal, so I feel like you wouldn't really want to move him. But yeah, they just need to figure out, you know, how to bring it in the playoffs. They bring it into the regular season every year. They just can't bring it in the playoffs. Maybe they just need a coaching change.
Why? Hold on. Why did Dubas block you on Twitter? Were you trying to sell him a Maple Leafs crypto coin or something? Like, what are you doing?
No, I don't know. I guess maybe my bot like followed him a couple too many times and he got upset about it, or he just threw the block up there. But I've never said anything to him, never talked to him in my life. Just kind of funny that he's one of the only guys that's like blocked me on Twitter.
Sagan's got me blocked, so I mean, we're right up there with you.
But you probably did something. You probably just didn't like follow him and like unfollow him like once or twice.
No, I mean it was on Instagram, not Twitter. He posted. It was back when they were going to the bubble, and he posted a picture of all of his bags. He had like 8 bags that he was taking. So I chirped him. I was like, "Wow, you pack more than a female, Saggy," and he blocked me. I was like, I was like, "That's it."
Yeah, you can't
Like,
say that. You'll get canceled if you say that. But I'm
I
sure
mean,
I'm sure Sagan was
oh,
just like can't take one chirp. He probably gets it enough. Can't take one chirp.
it wasn't anything sexist. It was just you're packing a lot there, Saggy. Like,
I pack a lot too. I have 3 sisters, so I kind of take after them.
fair. I mean, the last time I went to Nashville, I went down there with 2 bags, came back with 4. So
Just accumulating stuff along the way.
legit, legit. One bag's my golf clubs that I haven't touched out there once, but you could tell I haven't touched them in a while the other night too. Um, so you got Dallas and Canes going to the final. I got Vegas and Florida. Who wins the final?
I don't know. It's really. I'd love to see Carolina win it, but I don't know if they have like the full on firepower that Dallas has. Like I'd probably go with Dallas to win the whole thing. I think they're just too deep all over. They got those top D and top forwards, obviously a solid goalie. So it's going to be really hard to beat them, I think.
Yeah, I think if you're to make it, if it's a Carolina Dallas final, I'd pick Carolina. If it's a Vegas Florida final, as much as I'd love to see Kachuk win the cup, I think Vegas would beat them.
Yeah, I saw a stat the other day. Vegas has made the or the Western Conference Finals 4 out of their 6 years they've been in the league. So
That's
they've
wild.
obviously been a wagon. I mean, last year they didn't make playoffs, so it was kind of like a little bit of a crazy year, but to have that much success in the first 6 years of your being in the league is that's honestly crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. It's just wild. Good, like I said earlier, good for them. Um, Great for Seattle too. Seattle didn't make it quite as far, but just that much of a turnaround. It's these new teams, man. Like it's insane to see how successful they can be so quickly. Um, I mean, I don't agree with how Vegas has treated like some of the players and staff over the couple of years. Like it seems like they'll sign and trade guys as like they're nothing at some points. Like they're just pieces to a puzzle. Like there's no sort of connection. But then you saw how kind of Seattle did it a different way. They drafted super young in their expansion draft, and then had a ton of picks, made some good trades, and now they've got a solid core. They don't have that like superstar yet, but who knows what Wright's going to be in a couple of years? Maybe that'll be their guy.
Yeah, I think Yanni Gord was really good in the playoffs. He was a good pickup.
Yep.
And then obviously Debs was really good. And then just their D, they were just able to find a way. Obviously, Schultz has always been a really good player, a really offensive threat. Won a couple of cups with Pittsburgh, but um, I like the look of their team here in the next few years. They're definitely going to have to get like a bona fide superstar, and obviously McCann had a huge year this year. What did he have? Like 30 or 40 goals,
Yeah.
and he kind of like came out of nowhere as a big surprise. So Beniers, he might win Rookie of the Year. So they
Yeah.
definitely have the right
Wow, I
pieces.
didn't
They
even
just got
mention
to add
Beniers.
maybe a little bit of leadership and uh, maybe extend the coach and the GM and see what happens.
Yeah, Beniers. That was dumb of me to say that they don't really have a superstar because Beniers is going to be a superstar, no doubt. And his rookie year, he really put that team on his back for a lot of it. Gord played well, like you said. McCann, it's a good solid group. And then with Wright coming up, I mean, I think that's going to be if they can keep all these guys for a significant period of time. I mean, they're going to have a really good core and a really good depth to their team, so they should be able to be competitive for a while.
Yeah, and you're their number one fan, so I'm sure you'll help them along the way.
Switching up from Calgary, I mean, they got nicer jerseys.
They do have great jerseys. Is that the hat you're wearing right now, or is that a
No,
Seattle
no,
hat, or
no. This is just a Fender guitar hat.
oh, it's got
kind
the
of kind
same
of similar
color?
color, yeah. Um, you got anything else on the hockey side, playoff side?
No, I think other than that, like WHL final, I think is right now. Seattle's playing Winnipeg, or yeah, Seattle's playing Winnipeg, and Seattle might have the best like WHL team of all time. Like they're
Did
just an absolute wagon.
did they beat Kamloops?
They beat Kamloops, so Kamloops will
Oh
be
shit!
in the Memorial Cup as the host, but they went through Kamloops, and now they're playing against Winnipeg. I think Seattle won 6-3 last night in game one, so.
Wow.
I think Seattle will end up being in the Mem Cup with Kamloops, but Kamloops is going to be good there too. Like they've got a solid team. They just, um, you know, I think they have like 8 World Junior guys on the Seattle team, so it'll be a cool Mem Cup to watch.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And then London, I think London's still tearing it up in the O too.
Yeah, they
They're
always
they're
have a
playing
good
their
team,
finals.
and I'm sure a Q team stacked up for the Memorial Cup run. So
Yeah.
I always like watching that tournament.
Yeah, it's a good tournament to watch. A lot of great players coming up. It's sad that Bedsy didn't get an opportunity to go further in the WHL playoffs, but you'd think
Yeah,
you'd
he
think
could only take his team on his back for so long. I mean, he had a crazy first round. I think he had like 23 points or
it's
something in
insane.
7 games. But it would have been cool to see him on Seattle or Kamloops or on a wagon of a team where he was just not the guy putting everybody on his back.
Yeah, I thought originally he was going to get traded at the deadline to Kamloops or one of those places. Like I thought I
Yeah,
had read or heard somewhere that Kamloops was looking to get him. I thought
yeah,
it was going to be like a Shane Wright situation where they traded him. Um, like
for like 10
just
picks.
yeah, something stupid like that. Because
Some
there's
cash under the table, some futures and whatever.
yeah, Like
But
he,
then,
there's
like, I would have liked to see him at the World Championships too. Like, World Championships going on right now, and I guess he's just waiting to get drafted. He
yeah,
probably just doesn't want to get hurt, and maybe just get stronger over the summer and go to Chicago and light it up next year.
yeah. There's no way that he doesn't play next year, right?
Oh, he'll be in Chicago for sure. He'll
Yeah,
be their best player. See if they can bring somebody in to play with him.
Reichel's there. It'll be interesting to see
Yeah,
what Chicago does at the draft. We got to go to that draft.
go to Nashville,
We got to
check it
tear
out.
we got to tear up that draft. We'll try to get some media passes.
So they have the draft and they have
The awards.
the awards, I think,
Yeah.
all in Florida for that weekend. So
Not in Nashville.
we gotta
All in
we
Nashville.
gotta talk to Nick and see if he can hook us up with an Airbnb if we end up going down there.
Yeah, he said his Airbnbs are full, but we might be able to get some media passes, or he might be able to find us another spot to crash for sure. Maybe
Stay in
the old
our
Embassy Suites again. We'll go
always
see
go see
Tony.
Tony at the Embassy Suites.
We'll go
Definitely
see Tony.
stopping in there. Check out the rooftop patio.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't get to go there last time when it was open. It didn't open until I was like halfway through my stay.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you got going on for crypto right now, Chucky? It's been a crazy couple weeks since we've been
Dude,
off.
crypto's back, man. It's
It's
honestly crazy. A meme coin basically just brought the whole market back. I don't know what's going
Pepe.
on. Obviously, like a bunch of banks are kind of struggling right now in the US and in Switzerland and stuff. And um, there's one meme coin called Pepe. It's a little frog meme, and in 2 weeks it went to like almost a 2 billion market cap. Entered like the top 50 in coins, and now everybody on my timeline is just talking about the next meme coin to get into. So I've been having fun kind of looking at that on Twitter and entering the gambling degen phase of the cryptocurrencies that we took part in 2 summers ago.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting summer to see how crypto goes. Like you said, these meme coins are coming back. Pepe hit was in the billions. The Mongoose V2 came back. It was in, I think it hit almost 200 million, or it might have cracked the $200 million mark. But I mean, it's cool seeing the crypto community get hyped up again, and after a year and a half of everybody just kind of biding their time, being careful, selling, not buying too much. But it's cool to see some excitement around the community now for sure.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of like just so uncertain of what all the governments and stuff are doing. Like it sounds like XRP is going to win their lawsuit, which is huge for crypto and securities
Finally,
in the US and Canada. And then,
yeah.
but Binance is pulling out of Canada. So obviously the regulations are a little too strict here, and that's kind of tough to see. But all these banks are trying to have their own currencies, and um, everything should be getting really interesting here throughout the summer and throughout the next few weeks.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. There's I mean, there's so many projects launching every day right now. It seems like I'm like, holy shit.
Everybody's trying to find the next Doge or next Shiba, next Pepe. Like it's
Yeah.
literally every day there's something new dropping, and sometimes you can double or triple up your money, maybe ten times your money, or sometimes it gets rugged and you go to zero. So that's part of the gambling side of it, and but it's funny to like see the communities and see like if you just tweet out Mong, all the people that just will raid your tweets and all the Twitter spaces. And I think for a lot of people who listen to this, a lot of them like have no idea what we're talking about, but it's kind of like an alternate world, alternate like metaverse that like people just you have to be in it to kind of understand the intricacies of it.
Yeah, from the outside, people just think you're insane. They're like, "Oh, you're talking about crypto again. We're at lunches, like just watching charts and you know the shit that we tweet out, or it's like, what language are these guys speaking right now?"
Yeah, it's a crazy world.
But hopefully ETH continues to go up. I mean, it's been hanging around the 1700 to 2000 mark for a bit. Hopefully it cracks the 2000 and just keeps going up in the summer. Maybe we'll get a nice ETH boost for Stampede here.
That would be good. I'd like that. And then yeah, a couple other projects that we've been kind of looking into. Like I feel like every day there's like a new like whether it's meme or cartoon or like there was a Simpsons coin, there's a Family Guy coin, like there's a Grumpy Cat. Like you remember the meme that's a Grumpy Cat
Yeah.
smudge. Like oh, it's just so crazy. And then there's actually like legit projects like the one you're working with and Victory and
Yeah.
um some of the other ones that have been around. I also saw Elon Musk has been bringing out his new AI bot called Optimus, and they tweeted about it on the main Tesla page, and the Optimus coin just like went absolutely nuts yesterday, and it's just kind of funny. Like anything Elon tweets, the coin just ends up pumping like crazy. So trying to find the next one that gets up into the billions or up into the Doge and Shiba territory, but that's kind of what the Reddit and the Wall Street bets, like the crypto community is trying to find right now.
Yeah, that secret is getting in before Elon tweets about it. If you're in a project, man, like, and he tweets about it, it's that could be some life-changing money for you.
That's right.
All right, Chucky, you got anything else for today for this little one-on-one?
No, I think that was good. Go
Cool.
Canes, go. Need a big win tomorrow night.
Yep.
Or is that
Second
tonight
or
already?
tomorrow, 18th. Yeah, Eastern
Tomorrow,
Conference Final
Thursday, yeah.
airs tomorrow, Thursday, and hopefully this smoke clears up so we can get back on the golf course here in the next week. I need
No
all the
kidding.
practice I can get. All right, man. Cool. We will hopefully we'll be back with another guest next weekend or next week, I should say. And until then, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you later.